Hello everyone, welcome to Easy Nurse, where nursing education made easy. So let's continue this session, Unit 14, that is first aid. Then how to manage. If the patient get shock, then how you will manage the person to protect their life. Okay. Firstly, what you will do? Firstly, you have to do reassurance the victim. Reassurance is nothing but you have to give the psychological support to the victim. Then next one is comfortable position you have to give. If the patient is lie down, if the person is feeling the breathing difficulty, so you have to make them Fowler's position so that the person will not feel the breathing difficulty. Okay, so comfortable position you have to give. Then elevated the foot and side to improve the blood supply to heart and reduce the blood flow to the extremities. Okay, so what you can do, suppose this is a person. Okay, this is a person. So what you can do, the extremities you can lift elevated, so the blood can go, the blood circulation will be go to the heart and it is reduce the blood flow to the extremities. Okay, so the next is in case of head injury. If the person have a head injury, what you can do, that time the extremities will be in the flat, but the head area you can elevate it little. Okay, if the person have any head injury. Then if breathing problem is there means, you have to make the person sit in a sitting position or semi-Fowler position or Fowler's positions. Okay, and if the person have wearing the tight cloths, so you have to loosen that cloth. If they have a chest in that seat around necks or chest or waist, you have to loosen the tight cloth. Okay, so that the proper circulation will be there. Okay, the next is if the patient provide blanket to the victim to keep the body warm. Okay, stop bleeding. If any bleeding will be there means you have to stop the bleeding by providing the or giving the direct pressure on that area. Okay, then check the pulse, respiration or level of consciousness. Then if the pulse or respiration is stopped, then what you can do? First you have to check the response. Okay, you have to check the response of the person. Then you have to check the pulse and respiration. If no respiration, no pulse and there is no level of the level of consciousness is not there, then what you will do? You have to start to give the CPR, that is called cardiopulmonary resuscitation. You have to give the CPR, the 30 compression and 2 breath to save the life of the victim. Okay, you have to start the resuscitation as possible, then keep the victim in the recovery position and transfer to the nearest hospital to save the life of the person. I hope you understand how to manage, how to give the first aid for a shock patient. Okay, first thing you have to give the reassurance and you have to give the comfortable position. If the patient have any breathing difficulty, you have to give the semi-Fowler positions. Okay, and you have to check the vitals. If the pulse is not there, respiration is not there, and level of consciousness you have to check. If there is no pulse, no respiration and there is a no response, then immediately you have to start the CPR so that you can save the life of the person. Okay, then you have to transfer the patient to the hospital. Okay, so like that you can save the person life. Okay, that is the first aid management for shock. I hope you all understand about the shock and how to manage the shock patients. Okay, so next, the specific nursing consideration for shock management. So here you can select D, R, S, A, B, C, D. This is their following first. First is D for danger. Firstly, ensure that the area, the scene safety. First, you have to see the scene safety. Suppose the patient may fall down to the bathroom. Okay, so in bathroom you can start to give the treatment. Okay, so you have to give the scene. You have to see the scene safety. Okay, then R for you have to check the response of the victim. How you can then you can call the patient name or the person name. If you don't know the person name, you can tap the shoulder and you can check the response of the person. Then S for send for help. You have to ask the help. If any other person is there means you can call for help. Okay, then A. Next is A. A means earway. You have to open the patient's mouth and you can check any foreign bodies or any foreign particles is stuck in the mouth or not. You have to check the airway. Then breathing. Check the breathing and by looking the person chest movement. Okay, or feel. Then you have to see for CPR. You have to start the CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. You have to start the CPR 30 compression, 30 is to 2. So 30 compression and 2 breath you have to give. Then defibrillations. Okay, so those are the steps they are following to save the life of the victim. Okay, first is D for danger sign, then R for response, the response of the victim, with the patient level of consciousness they will check. Then S, if they want any help, they will call the other person to help her. Okay, then A, you have to check the airway, then breathing. C for you have to start the, if there is no airway, there is no breathing, there is no pulse, and there is no response, then you have to start with CPR. You have to give the CPR, then defibrillation. So those are the nursing consideration, for specific nursing consideration for the shock management. Okay, I hope you all understand about the emergency. If any emergency situations arise, how you will give the first aid to save the life of the victim. Okay, so next move on to the next topic, that is a musculoskeletal injuries. Okay, maybe fracture, dislocation and muscle injuries. Okay, so musculoskeletal injuries means that when the injuries is happen in the muscles or bones or ligaments or joints, that is called musculoskeletal injuries. Okay, maybe it may be because of sudden fall, or maybe because of accident, fall, or any force or imbalanced postures. Okay, so this may affect the movement of the body. So musculoskeletal injury is nothing but the injuries may happen in the bones, muscles, ligaments, joints. Okay, maybe because of accident, fall, or any imbalance. Okay, that is called musculoskeletal injury. So under the first one is fracture. Okay, what does mean by the fracture? Fracture is nothing but the breakage of continuity of the bones due to any external force. Okay, suppose you are standing. Okay, suddenly you got imbalance and you fall down. So you got the fracture in your leg or hand or shoulder. Okay, that is called fracture, breaking of the continuity of bone due to the external force. Okay, that is called fracture. Maybe complete or incomplete or open or close. So next move on to the causes of fracture. For causes of fracture, first one is direct force, indirect force and muscular force. Direct force means what? The bone is broken by a direct force. Okay, maybe you fall down. Now I told the example, you fall down from the height. Okay, so direct force and you fall down, and or maybe bullet passed through the body. Okay, so that is called direct force. Direct force, you got the fracture. Indirect force means the bone is break away from the main point. Okay, suppose the fracture of the collarbone or fracture of the collarbone, that is an indirect fracture or indirect force. Okay, then muscular fracture or muscular force, that is mean that it's very rare. Okay, that is very rare when it occurs due to the severe contraction of the muscles. When it is happen, when there is a severe contraction of the muscle, and what will happen? Fracture of the ribs due to you are taking the excessive or violent or severe cough. Then what will happen? The ribs will be break. Okay, the continuity of the bones will be break. Okay, the fracture of the ribs may happen because of your severe or violent cough. It is very rare. Okay, that is very rare and uncommon, and mostly occurs other diseases like weak bone structure. Those are the causes for fracture. So after that, signs and symptoms of fracture patients. Okay, first one is pain over the injured area. Then swelling will be there. Difficulty in moving. If you got fracture in your hand, it is difficult to move that area because there is tenderness will be there. Okay, tenderness will be there and swelling will be there. You will get pain over that area. Then loss of functions, bleeding. Sometimes bleeding may be there. Okay, so bleeding may be there from that wound. Then shock, in severe cases, shock will be there. Those are the signs and symptoms you can see for the fracture patients. Then aims of first aid for the fractures are to prevent the victim from the further harm or injury, to decrease the pain, to prevent or to treat the shock. You have to treat the shock by doing the first aid management for shock. Okay, then to get the medical facility as soon as possible, you have to ship the patient to the hospital. Those are the aims for the first aid when the patient got fracture. Okay, first you have to protect the person, and you have to if the pain is there means you have to decrease that pain. If swelling is there means you can use the ice pack to reduce that swelling. Okay, then you have to, if shock is there means you have to do the shock management. Okay, you have to do the shock management. And next is to get the medical facility as soon as possible. You have to ship the patient to the hospital. Those are the signs and symptoms and aims. Okay, so next move on to the management of first aid, management of fracture patients. Okay, so first one is reassurance the patients. So always you have to give psychological support to the patient first. Okay, then control any hemorrhage or bleeding will be there. How you can control? By giving the direct pressure on that area. Okay, so that the bleeding will get stopped. Okay, next one is use sterile dressing to cover that wound. You have to like clean cloth you can use. If it is home means clean cloth you can use. Okay, then immobilize the injured part. So if you got fracture in the hand, you can't move it. Otherwise, what may happen? There will be the dislocation of the bone. Okay, so immobilize the injured part. Next is use ice pack. If any swelling or any pain is there, means you can use the ice pack. But direct ice pack you should not apply on the skin. Otherwise, what will happen? Rashes or some rashes will be happen. Okay, you will get sensitivity. So what we can do? You have to wrap the ice pack with a cloth or towel, then you can apply on that area. Okay, next one is treat person for shock if needed. If predicted, if the shock is there, if the person have shocked, you are seeing the signs and symptoms of shock, then what you can do? You can do the management, first aid management for the shock. Okay, then next is transfer to the patient to the nearby hospital as soon as possible, so that you can save the life of the person. Okay, so that is the management of fracture patient. When the person get fracture, you can do first reassurance. If bleeding is there, means you have to control the bleeding by applying the direct pressure on that. Then you have to give the sterile dressing, immobilize that part, so that further it will not deteriorate it. Okay, that condition will not deteriorate it. Okay, so that or the bones will not dislocated. Okay, so for that, immobilize that part area or that area. Then ice pack you can apply if swelling or pain will be there, means then if the shock, you can see the signs and symptoms of shock. If it is there, means you can give the shock management. Okay, then after that you can shift the patient to the nearby hospital. Okay, I hope you all understand this session. With this, we have come to the end of this session. So next session we will discuss the further topics. So till then, keep learning and keep exploring with Easy Nurse. Thank you.